I am over the moon excited to have a very, very special goddess here with me today. Her name is Malinda Starr, and she is a star. She shines so bright. She is a soul sister of mine. She's a beautiful healer. She was a body worker for almost 30 years, and now she's really stepped fully into quantum healing and energy healing. So, really incredible energy healer. I've had a session from her, and it was amazing. She's also a priestess and she's a wisdom teacher. She has so much wisdom inside of her. She's like a beautiful earth mother with her heart open wide. Just, speaking with her and being with her is like having a hug from the goddess. She is so divine. And it is my great honor to have you here, Malinda, speaking about the goddess because you embody the energy of the goddess. So I'm so excited about this conversation. And I'm going to be making some announcements at the end of this conversation. So make sure you watch to the very end because we got some really exciting things to share with you. So great to have you here, Malinda.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is such a blessing, and I am so grateful to be here. And wow, what a beautiful introduction. I am just so deeply touched. So thank you, and I am so excited, so excited. So I just hope that each and every one of you feel how much love and excitement that I have, and that you can feel it too. So
Oh, yay!
that's my that's my intention. Okay. That just pours out and radiates to
You
everyone.
know what I love about you the most, Malinda, is that you just embody all that beautiful energy. And when you speak and when you share, it's like little love hearts are just coming out. Yeah, so beautiful. So as you can see, she is an energy healer. She's incredible. She's, not just one thing. She's a wisdom teacher, she's a priestess, she's an energy healer. Like, yeah, you're going to love this conversation. I know it. I can feel it already. And so, Malinda, the first question I have for you is what does awakening the goddess mean to you?
Well, it means to fully and completely understand who we are, where we have come from, and where we are going. And to know that we are super amazing, super intelligent, and super powerful, multidimensional beings with unlimited capabilities. So that's what it means to me right now.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. So it's like really stepping into the power of who we are and really stepping into those superpowers of who we are. I love that.
And we all have them, each and every one of us. And as we heal and we awaken, and this just starts to come through us.
Yeah, yeah. And how, in your opinion, how can people start to awaken the goddess within them? And what does when I say the awakening, what thoughts come up around awakening for you?
I always wanted to be a goddess, and I never ever thought of myself as a goddess. Really living in survival mode and not flowing in life and knowing how magical it is. And so I would really invite you to really do a lot of clearing work, healing those traumas, our wounds, and what triggers us, and to really start to be a clear channel so that you can shine, transform, and shine your light and your love.
And you said that I love that you said that you didn't feel that you were a goddess. And I think that's common for a lot of women where, they'll go, oh, yeah, she's a goddess. But when it comes to them, they're like, oh, but I'm not. And so you made that transition. How do you feel you were able to transition from not being a goddess to knowing and celebrating that you are a goddess?
Yeah, and what a great celebration. It just really kind of stepped into this in the past year. And I've had, you as my amazing teacher to help for me to step into the awareness. For me, it was really to truly love myself and to love all the parts of myself, not just the good, right? Is, we have our shadow side and we have our trauma and our triggers, but to love all of it and to embrace it and to truly feel worthy and to step into that divine feminine power that is innately in us. We spend so many years of being shamed and blamed and, denied of our gifts, made fun of. Oh, you're crazy. How many of us get that one, right? We're all crazy. So I just truly have embraced the authenticity of who I am and truly love who I am and feel completely worthy to be walking this path and to be truly a goddess.
Oh, I love that answer.
Embracing those gifts of wisdom and not afraid to be guided by our intuition.
I love that, Malinda. That is so beautiful. And I love that you say to be guided by our intuition. It was intuition, that brought us together. And the great Mother Goddess certainly did bring us together. And once we start really trusting that, our path just opens up. And I love that you shared about self-love, because that's my story too, was when I really started to love all those parts, even the unsavory parts. That was when I really became embodied in my full potential. So I love that. Thank you so much.
Those are the parts that are hard for us to love, or that.
Yeah. And being able to hold compassion for those parts of ourselves that have been hurt. Yeah. It certainly helps when I have a beautiful mirror in my life like you, because I look at you and I'm like, oh, you're so beautiful. You're just so beautiful. And then when we realize we are these divine reflections of each other, that we're mirroring this beauty and this connection, then how can we not fall in love with ourselves as well as the beautiful people we're falling in love with? So,
and that's a great way, because for a lot of us, we see the beauty in everyone else, but we don't see it in ourselves. I never thought that I was beautiful. I didn't look in the mirror and think, oh, I'm so beautiful. I never thought I was beautiful. And I really working on the inside, because I really wanted that beauty to shine from within out.
yeah. And what was the transition for you that you then saw the beauty within yourself?
I think that it started by really knowing who I am, accepting who I am, embracing all of it. I've done a lot of healing and really, going through a lot of different trials and tribulations, as we all do, right? Divorces and all the different things. And through all of that, to really now embrace all of me and feeling now that I am worthy, I am love, and that I am now shining bright.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much. Oh, it's so I can feel that. I can feel the resonance of it from the inside.
That gave me chills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long journey, you know. This is not easy, you know.
So I've got another question for you, Malinda, because I hear you say healing the issues in your tissues quite a lot. So I understand that's a really relevant and important part of your goddess path. So can you explain what that means?
Sure. So when we have trauma in our lives, it's all held within our tissues, our muscles. It creates our fear, anxiety, anger. So it's stored in there. And not just from this life, from many past lives that we've had. So it's very important to me to clear all this out, to work through it, to be a clear channel.
Yeah, I love that so much. And being a body worker, I'm sure you worked on people's physical bodies and experienced that firsthand. I know I have, right?
Yes.
And I understand that you're transitioning from being a body worker to the quantum healing. So, how do you work with healing the energies, the energy in our tissues through the energy work instead of the body work?
Through this, I tap into the quantum field and see and have an inner knowing, a hearing maybe, or a seeing of what is going on in your body.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be maybe something from your past life, that you have pain in your shoulder that you can't get rid of. Doctors have no explanation, but it could be held in there from many, many lifetimes ago. So have the ability to go in there, see what it is, and resolve it. I am just the facilitator of the healing, though.
Yeah, I love that. Right. It's really up to each individual to do the healing, but we can facilitate and be the guide. I love that you bring that up. All too often, I have clients that want me to heal them, and I'm like, oh, I'm just the guide.
We're just the guide.
Yeah. And I love this conversation of issues in the tissues and the energetic component to it, because the first time I did a massage on someone, I actually took this huge knot out of the person's back, and then I had it, and then I had to figure out how to get rid of it, and it was through energy healing, and not actual muscular, pushing the muscles around to get rid of this knot, but actually energetically going in and doing the healing, clearing work that you're talking about. So I agree with you, firsthand experience, healing the issues in our tissues. I think everyone always assumes it's through body work, but it can also be energetic.
Yeah, because a lot of it is energy. You know, we are all energy and everything is energy. So, when we get these, traumas and all of our wounds and everything we've been through stored in us. And if we're not dealing with it and we keep pushing it down and we keep pushing it down, we can't flow, our energy can't flow. And it's like, watching a river. And You have this beautiful river that's flowing and the sun is shining on it, and it's so inviting, and you want to drink from it, you want to swim in it. But when there's the blocks in there and all the bugs are accumulating and algae, and it's like, oh, I don't want to go in there. The same thing happens to our bodies. And that's how disease sets in.
That's
So,
beautiful.
it's much better to deal with it, get it out, cry.
Yeah.
But if we leave it in, we suffer.
Yeah. I always say, do you want to be a pond or do you want to be a river or do you want to be the ocean? Right. I don't want to be pond-like. I mean, lotus flowers do grow out of ponds, but, and a lot of us do become a lotus flower in our healing, but eventually it is better to be the flowing river or the ocean. Yeah. Yeah. I was the river for a long time. Well, I was pond-like. I became the lotus flower. Then I was the river, and now I feel like I'm the ocean. So,
Beautiful.
oh, I love that. What a great
Transition.
conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah. And do you have any tips around healing the issues in your tissues?
Mm. I think the first is to be aware of your body, connecting with your body, noticing where you're having your pain, what brings that pain on. If you're talking to a mother, a father, a sibling, and after you finish, you got a headache or a backache. It's starting to pay attention to your body. What is your body trying to tell you? And so the first thing is being aware.
I love that so much. That's so beautiful. Awareness is definitely so important. If you're not
Great.
aware,
So this is the perfect
there's a
segue to go
saying that,
into
you
what
can
does
only
awakening the
heal
new
what you
feminine
feel.
paradigm mean to you?
Oh, thank you so much.
I think that for me, it is to fully embrace your feminine energy and connecting to your wisdom, your intuition, your creativity, your sexuality, and to flow in life with ease and grace, embracing the magic of who we are and our beautiful planet, and just knowing that that is our innate nature within all of us.
Beautiful. I love that. It's so true. I agree with you. And I'm just noticing all your beautiful feathers, your headdress. I understand that you live in Arizona and you're part Native American. Can you share a little bit about your roots?
Sure. I was born and raised in Tucson, Arizona. Always felt very connected to the Native Americans, but growing up here, I am part Cherokee and Romanian, but that part of us was denied, and we grew up fearing the Native Americans living here in the West, in the Wild West, and with that whole cowboy Indian. So I grew up fearing the Native Americans. And when you never told anybody that you were part Native Americans because they were treated as a very low minority. That still continued. And thank goodness that has changed. But it wasn't that I moved to Florida and I started embracing my heritage. Because people would come up to me and ask me, and it took a while for me to say yes, that I was part Native American. And once I did, it really started to tap into those roots.
Mm.
And so I've just now, it's been 2 years in June that I've moved back to Arizona to fulfill a dream, have land in the desert, and to really connect back to that. So this is all very much a part of my soul.
Yeah, beautiful. And again, the connection here, I've got Cherokee in my background bloodline as well. And that was shamed in my grandmother's lifetime as well. So it's really interesting to reclaim that part of who we are. And that leads into the next question is, what does the redemption of the feminine spirit mean to you?
Well, I think that, it's a beautiful to see women rising up and coming out of the patriarchal reign and bringing their sacred healing medicine to the earth, restoring beauty, nourishment, peace, and union, regaining their divine feminine power.
Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I see the connection between, the Native Americans and the oppression there, all of the tribal people, though, here, in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world, really. And, what's happened to women. Do you feel that connection in the same way with the redemption of the feminine spirit to reclaiming your roots, your Native American roots?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels, the other thing that I, did too, that really helped to make a difference for me in reclaiming my roots was to reclaim my birth name. Because, for us women, our last names are changed. We take on our husband's name. And it's almost, to me, it never made it, it never felt right. To me, it was like, what didn't matter what my last name was. My name had changed many different times. And I finally reclaimed my last name of Starr back. And the opening that I felt when that happened was so profound and so powerful that it still brings tears to my eyes. And I'm like, wow, that was my identity that had been taken from me. And now it's back, and I'm going to embrace all of it. And I'm never changing my last name again.
I love it. Yeah, I think names are really, really powerful. They hold resonance and vibration and frequency, and especially if there's a story there going back generationally. And I love that. Why is it that the woman, needs to change her last name? My sister-in-law actually had her husband take her, or how did they do it again? Oh no, she kept her name. That's right. She kept her name. And I thought, wow, that's really powerful to keep your name. So it's great. Yeah. But my husband actually, he said, oh, I'd love to take your name. So we thought about that, of him taking my last name. But, we did end up doing the traditional route, and I'm okay with it because I wasn't so attached to my name. But
Right.
If I had Starr as the last name, I would never change it either. Yeah.
My name changed from Starr at 5.
Wow.
So I never really had that, but it was always in the back of, like in my soul. But, it's just something that you lived with, and your name changes and keeps changing if you and for me that was many times. But now that I haven't, and I have had my birth name now for many years now, and I fully embrace it.
How come it changed when you were 5?
My mother remarried, and she allowed him to adopt us with the permission of my father.
Wow. Wow. So that's a huge reclamation, isn't it? Yeah.
It was huge. I had no idea how huge it actually was and how powerful. And when they handed my license to me with my name now, I just burst into tears. It was just an amazing feeling that went through me.
That's really beautiful. I can identify with that, Malinda, because I changed my name. Schamet is not my birth name, but it's my spiritual name. And it came through very clearly. We did a name changing ceremony in it was called the Goddess Palace. It was a hippie commune, all women. And we did a name changing ceremony with a shaman. And that was the name that came through from spirit. And it felt so good to change my name because I never liked my birth name. Like I just never liked it. I felt like it wasn't my name. And, again, it's like a name that's given to you by somebody else. And then I asked the universe, is this really my name? And I went to Egypt and met a little Muslim girl, and her name was Schamet, and her name was spelt the same. And she looked deep into my eyes. We had a connection, and she was like 12 years old. She said, no, this is definitely your name. And it's Hebrew for the candle that burns bright and the Holy One. And then my friend, her last name is Starr as well, Naomi Starr. She moved to Germany, and my name was on her door in Germany. She's like,
wow.
The last name in Germany. I was like, wow. So I got two very clear signs that, so when I legally changed it, just like you, I had this huge opening, and it was like an awakening to claiming my power of who I am and stepping into it. So I hear you. I went through that. It was really, really transformative and powerful. So I think this is a great conversation because it is the awakening the goddess within is like claiming who we are. So
Absolutely.
yeah, beautiful. For that. That was so much fun to talk about names and the power of names and stepping into your power, and awakening in that way. What is the balance of the feminine and the masculine within the awakening of the goddess mean to you?
I feel that it is part of our healing and awakening journey to bring balance to our masculine and feminine side. Cultivating that energy in us so that we are in greater harmony within ourselves in how we respond to others and to the world as a whole.
People that are really struggling to connect. Do you have any tools or tips to help them during challenging times when they maybe lost connection with their heart? I know that's happened with me is when some sort of trauma happens or where I get really triggered, then I lose that connection with my heart. So I'm just wondering if you have any wisdom around that to reconnect.
Yeah, that's a good one. It took me, sometimes we think our heart is open and that we are loving, but it took me a while to open my heart, and now that it is, it feels good. But I think for us is to really let go and to surrender to the flow of life, because there is so much magic in it. And to be incredibly mindful of our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, because all of it goes out like a wave, a vibration, a frequency. It all goes out into the world, to the universe, and it all comes right back to us. Full circle. So if we are in our negative space, all of that is going out and coming back to us. So you really want to be mindful of what you're putting in and what you're putting out.
That is such a powerful answer, Malinda. And that is why you're a wisdom teacher, because that is so wise. I've had that direct experience of having that energy come back. And, and then the shadow work that comes with that. And, it's definitely sometimes part of the journey, right? That, we need to kind of go through it in order to really get the wisdom. But I have definitely been in my heart, been all like love, 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 and then get triggered or go into grief and then close down, throw that bad toxic energy out, have it come back. And, that is a really beautiful way of saying what I have just experienced. And it was just this morning that I was sitting out in the sun with my dog, because that's my morning ritual, to sit out and we both look at the view together. I hang out with my dog, and she's taught me so much about unconditional love. And I had a moment of feeling what it really feels to let go, to really feel the joy and the expansiveness of surrender. And I have not felt that for a long time. And I needed to hear your words today. And I'm going to get emotional now. But that really landed for me. That really landed for me. And I think everyone needed to hear that. Because we think we're so spiritual and we think we're so loving. And I am. But it's so challenging when we get triggered back into those childhood wounds. And so what a beautiful message of, 100% responsibility. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. And I think the more we practice that, the easier it gets. And, and we're not always going to be in our heart, and we're not always going to be loving. But if we can remember what we're putting out is coming right back to us, then we're going to want to put out. And to know that the greatest superpower we have is love.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah. And I understand you've been doing a lot of beautiful work around healing your divine feminine and your divine masculine. And I've been witnessing that really awaken inside of you. How is that feeling to be doing this beautiful work?
It feels empowering, and it just feels really good inside, very heart opening too. I lived a lot in my masculine energy, and even though I felt feminine, I wasn't living that way, wasn't flowing that way, it was like a survival mode.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are living their life in a kind of survival mode. So how do you feel like you can transition from that survival mode into being in flow with the goddess energy and the divine feminine?
Really being in your heart, flowing from your heart.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that so much. So actually, you have a little something to share with all of us about opening and activating the heart. Would you like to do that?
A lot of us, when we're feeling stressed or we're swimming in it and we just can't get out, because, being in love and in our hearts and all that, it all sounds great. But sometimes we just can't get there. And then, we all say, well, go take a walk and be in nature. And Sometimes we don't have time to do that. And it's not always easy to get in nature. So I find that this is just a great easy way just to take a moment, to a time out, so to speak, right? Take a time out for yourself, okay? When you're just getting so stressed and you just have a lot of anxiety and you can't seem to find your way back to your heart, to be in love. So I am inviting all of you to just close your eyes and take a deep breath and relax. And feel your body. And feel the space around your body. Knowing that you and the space are one. So I'm going to ask you to bring your awareness into your heart. And feel your heart. You just really want to fill this energy with love and gratitude. You're going to create this ball of energy. You can give it a name, a color. I call this entelechy for myself. And when you feel that this ball of energy you have is so filled with love, you're going to bring that ball of energy down into your solar plexus, down into your sacral, down into your root, and into your earth star, and all the way down into the dirt, the rocks, the minerals, the crystals, all the way to the core of Mother Earth. And you send that love and gratitude and tell her that you love her. And she will always send her love back. You shall feel this energy come back up your earth star, your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and out your crown. Now visualize this energy of love and gratitude in a beautiful ball of light. And you're going to send that light up to the creator, the divine, the goddess, God, creator of all that is, whatever that is for you. Send that energy up higher and higher to the highest plane. And tell the creator of all that is, the divine, the goddess, that you love him. Woo! And you'll feel that energy come back down. And right into your heart. And this love in your heart is expanding, getting brighter and stronger. Whew. So when you feel full, I invite you to open your eyes and come back into this space and be present. Now you can walk through your day in love and gratitude. Love and blessings.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Thank you. Yeah, I love that heart activation because it's exactly what you were just talking about. And I love your rattle too.
That felt so good, you know. And sometimes we forget, you know, we probably all have little things that we can do to connect. But you know, sometimes we just need a little reminding. So important to be connected, and not to our phones and the TV and all these other things.
I love that so much. And thank you so much for that heart activation. I think we all needed that as well. It was so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Our greatest superpower is love, and to just love everyone and everything as our family, our brothers, our sisters, embracing them with unconditional love, and go out there and hug. And don't be the first one to let go.
Yeah.
So I send each and every one of you a huge, big hug. And thank you, thank you, thank you for taking the time for yourself to be here and listening.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Malinda. That was so beautiful and so activating. And I agree with you about being connected to our heart and love being the superpower. And if we could just all keep reconnecting to the heart, and that's a good little mantra that I'm gonna take that one on, that when I get triggered or I get into that place where I'm, I've been hurt and then I'm angry with someone because they've hurt me, right? All that stuff that comes up, part of being human. Then to remember that whatever I'm putting back out there is going to come back. Maybe I'll think twice about what I'm, that cycle that we sometimes get into. And I just recently heard a saying that, healed people heal others, and wounded people, carry on the cycle of wounding others. And so that's a very good thing to remember about the energy that we put out. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. We all want peace and we all want love, but it all starts here with each of us. So if we are being that, that is what's going out. We must be it first.
Yeah, I think, I want to just speak into this a little bit deeper, because what I have noticed with myself is I used to be a doormat, and I used to be this people pleasing, I'm going to just be pure love. And then I went in the other direction, standing in my power and putting my boundaries into place. And I think I probably went too far in the other direction. And now I've been finding, navigating back to that center point. Have you gone through that yourself? And do you have any tips on how not to go from one to the other and to just kind of find that balance to the love?
Well, for me, I never had boundaries. I didn't know what boundaries were. So we've always been, the people pleaser, the rescuer, and always trying to come from a place of love. But I didn't have love for myself. Because I didn't have boundaries in place, and I was just being the pleaser all the time. So we do need to have both, but we also need to find our balance within. And I think now that I have this balance within, this great sense of inner peace and joy and light, and but I do at times get knocked off. I get triggered and go through my shadow stuff as well. And we embrace it, we heal, and then we just get that much, the ability to hold our light bodies and with love.
I love that so much. That to me really landed, is the self-love piece. again, going back to that center point, because when we are the healers, the teachers, the wisdom keepers, the space holders, we get really masterful at holding love for everyone else. But you just said it, coming back to that center point, which is the self-love piece, does create the boundary, but it creates it with love. So thank you. Wow, that was amazing. So thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, your energy. And I want to take this moment to let everyone know that Malinda Starr has got some exciting opportunities coming up the end of June. The end of June, I will be passing my torch of the Awaken the Priestess Within over to Malinda Starr. June. So stay tuned because I know it's so exciting. And that is, going to be so incredible. And so by doing so, what we decided to do was create a retreat at her retreat center, Desert Star Retreat in Tucson, Arizona. So we're so excited. Stay tuned. Malinda, do you want to share a little bit about what you're going to be offering?
A beautiful healing space, a retreat for people to come, unplug, and disconnect and reconnect to what's important is within themselves and to the land here. I am in the desert, and so we'll be offering healings, meditations, sound healing baths, so many things that we have on the horizon.
Malinda and I have been having lots of conversations about how we'll be holding this space for healing through the priestess tools of ancestral and generational energetic wounds and beliefs and patterns, and just really anything that is holding you back. And we came together in this way, very magically, very aligned. And the work that I was doing personally with healing my ancestral and generational energetic wounds and patterns and beliefs came from our meeting when I came to visit her in Tucson. And so it just makes sense. And I just want to give you, Malinda, a bit more energy around your healing retreat. It's more than a healing retreat. It is a goddess palace. Yeah, I mean, wow.
You're so amazing, Schamet. You're just amazing. Thank you.
No, it's true. At one point, I asked Malinda to put some music on because we met, a group of us met there and did ceremony and ritual, and it was just so magical and beautiful. And we'd all been working together online, and then we met there. And I said, "Can you turn on some beautiful music so we can, do this ceremony with some movement?" And she pulls out the drums and the rattles and and we ended up having this incredible ceremony where we were the music, and it was just what all of us needed. And it was so much better than just turning a song on. It was like we were the song.
Bodied it.
Yeah, it was just amazing that you had all the priestess tools right there, the rattles, the drums. It's gorgeous.
I think it's been a part of me for my whole life, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah. And this is awakening the priestess. We are awakening to that power within us. And, for Malinda, she just, it was her like through and through for like her whole life. And then it was just like finding the words to understand who she is. And that's beautiful. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Well, it's all about awakening, aligning, transforming, and shining.
Oh, I love it. Yay. So stay tuned. to the exciting times that are coming. You can get in contact with Malinda through awakenthepriestesswithin.com in June. So she's still preparing, getting everything ready for everyone, but doors will be open. She is launching the end of June. So we're so excited. We will give you more information when that comes, and hope you've enjoyed this beautiful, beautiful goddess conversation, and so much love to each and every one of you.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Schamet. Thank you.
Thank you, Malinda.